A passenger train weighing hundreds of tons can comfortably navigate tight curves through mountains at high speed. And it does this despite a very obvious limitation in the cabin. The driver has no steering wheel. Taking a corner in any vehicle introduces a basic physics problem. Because the outside of the curve is wider than the inside, the wheels on the outer edge of the vehicle have farther to travel than the wheels on the inner edge. In your car, engineers solve this with a differential. This is a complex arrangement of gears sitting between your wheels that allows the left and right sides to spin at entirely different speeds when you turn the steering wheel. Trains do not have this mechanism. The left and right wheels are permanently locked together on a single massive steel axle. They are physically forced to rotate at the exact same speed all the time. Which means trains are forced to navigate curves with locked axles that theoretically should cause the wheels to violently slip, bind, and drag across the steel rails. Now, the intuitive answer to how a train makes this turn is the most visible part of the wheel, the thick inner lip called the flange. It seems obvious that this metal lip simply bumps up against the inside of the rail, physically shoving the train around the corner. But if a heavy train actually relied on the flange to steer, the resulting deafeningly at every turn, the steel would rapidly wear away, and the intense lateral force would easily cause the entire train to derail. We know exactly what this sounds like because engineers have actually tried it. For years, the San Francisco BART system was designed with perfectly flat, cylindrical wheels that relied entirely on flange guidance to get through curves. The resulting noise from the friction was notoriously intense. The flanges are actually an emergency safety feature designed to keep the wheels from falling off the track in extreme situations. Since the axles are locked and the flange isn't doing the steering, the real mechanism keeping the train on the rails is entirely invisible. This diagram from a railway engineering manual reveals the actual solution. Notice figure 24 specifically. The bottom surface of a train wheel isn't flat. The tread is machined with a subtle tapered slope. The wheels are conical. When a train enters a curve, centrifugal force naturally pushes the entire heavy mass of the vehicle slightly outward, toward the outside edge of the turn. Because of that slanted shape, this outward shift pushes the outside wheel higher up on its own slope, forcing it to roll on its thickest, wider diameter. At the exact same time, the inner wheel is pulled slightly inward, causing it to drop down and roll on its slimmest, thinnest diameter. The axle is still locked together, and both wheels still complete exactly one rotation at the same time. But because the outside wheel is riding on a larger circumference, it covers a longer physical distance than the inner wheel during that single spin. That single geometric shift flawlessly mimics a mechanical differential. The locked axle negotiates the varying distances of the curve smoothly, without any slipping or grinding. That solves the corners. But those same sloped wheels constantly work even when tracks are straight. If a train drifting down a straightaway happens to bump slightly to the left wheel rides up to a larger diameter and starts covering more ground. That size difference immediately steers the axle back toward the right, naturally self-centering the train. This diagram illustrates exactly what that motion looks like on the rails. Rather than moving in a perfectly straight line, the self-correcting steering causes the wheels to continuously overshoot the center, creating a subtle, rhythmic weaving pattern known as kinematic oscillation. It is a constant, invisible balancing act happening under the carriages, ensuring that the inner flanges rarely touch the rails on a straight journey. A single solid piece of steel, shaved at a very slight angle, successfully handles guidance, active centering, and differential rotation simultaneously, with zero moving parts. It is a design so completely optimized that even the most advanced, computer-controlled high-speed bullet trains operating today still rely entirely on this exact same 19th century geometry, simply manufactured to more finely machined tolerances. Smooth train journeys are not steered by drivers pulling a wheel or by complex internal gears. They're steered by the quiet perfection of their own